What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Gold Card Fred. He is a very cheap player. He's coming under 10k and probably the cheapest review we've done, but I've actually really enjoyed him. He's played 2 weekend leagues for me now, and honestly he's an absolute cracking player. Great links, good team if I say so myself, but Prem-wise, a very good player. And I just wanted to bring you him basically because I've been using him in champs. I've got some clips from him, and I wanted to just to show you that you don't need to get these 100k players to do moderately well. Obviously, if you're going for elite, if you're going for top 100, and you're not like the next level, you're not like hashtag Harry, who, or in fact, it's not even, it's Fanatic Harry now. If you're not like him at the game, obviously there's only so many people who are. You can't just use a bronze team and manage to get top 100, so you are going to have to use some decent players. But Fred, if you're looking in the gold category, most definitely can do it. So let's look in these stats and see what we can do. But before that, make sure you like and subscribe. So if we do go into the stats for Fred, he is a 4-star, which is already a nice little plus. Yes, 5-star, 5-star, nice. But as a central midfielder, literally a bang-on centre mid as well. He is a bit of both. I do find that he is more defensive than attacking, but you can kind of use him as both. You can go with an engine if you really wanted to. We will have a look at the chemistry style in a moment, but first off, he is left-footed. He's 5'7" with a short and lean body type, which is something I'm going to add into the reviews as well. It's one thing that I never really knew that was at the bottom of Footbin right there, is to know their body type, and that will explain a little bit more about their animations and how they work. He is high work rate, so he is a box to box, but like I say, he's kind of better at the coming back part. Going forward is nice, but he only has so many options there. In terms of chemistry style, people are looking at an anchor. People are obviously wanting him more as a DM, if anything, and if you do whack an anchor, you'll get an 83 DM. He does get 82 defending, 84 pace, and then 76 physicality. If I do take that off, and it's something we'll have a look in the end review anyway, but if I take that off, we've got 79 pace, which isn't terrible. Obviously in the midfield, I think anything above, yeah, 79, 80 is considered okay. Obviously as we get further into the game, you're looking to up that more and more, and then you're looking around the other stats. Pace then becomes no number, and then it's all about, he's obviously already got the pace, has he got the defending, physical, dribbling, passing, and it becomes an all-round midfielder then. But for right now, I think it's okay enough as long as you whack a chemistry style on him. We've got 83 dribbling, which is his best stat. That gives you 86 agility, 87 balance, 84 composure, which is always nice, 82 dribbling, 83 ball control, and 84 reactions. Again, his dribbling is the highest stat and definitely shows what he's all about in the card. He's got 80 and 81 short and long pass. We've got 87 stamina, 81 aggression, and it's something that is really noticed in the game with him is he wins the ball back. He goes and runs for it, he gets the ball, and then he's off. He's absolutely amazing at getting the ball in the interception part of it. It is mainly kind of just the overall game that has a limitation for an 81. He does play better than an 81 in my opinion, but I do feel like if you was to get someone like Conte, he will be better than him. Obviously, rating wise and price wise just goes against Fred in this scenario. Fred is just that cheap beast. If you're not looking to spend huge amount of coins before Black Friday, he's your man most definitely. But anyway, let's get into some gameplay and see what he did. So I did play with Fred in Foot Champs, and honestly, he did well. He always does well in terms of just being there and really holding that position for me. It's been 2 weekend leagues now that we've both got gold. We got gold 2 last week and gold 3 this week after stopping with 4 games left, so there's still chance of gold 2, but I'm just not really feeling it this week. We need a better team to kind of challenge. I feel like I'm struggling with certain elements, and it necessarily is the team in some areas, but there is kind of a nice area that I have got. Obviously Varane, Mendy are pretty OP, and then we do have like Edison, Diego, Carlos. We also have Werner up front, and we had Martial this week, so there was a few decent players that we had, and I think for me it's just keeping my cool. Whereas Fred, you'll see him up and down the pitch in pretty much all of these clips. He's playing a CM, he plays a CDM in one formation that I use, and then he even plays a cam in one formation I use, and it's mainly just pushing everybody up if I'm really desperate for the goal. And honestly, he does every formation, he does every position well. He really puts in a shift, he gets the tackles off, he gets the assists, he gets the just everything about him. And yes, there is limitations to him. I'm not saying he's the best CDM in the world or CM, but he's good for the price, and that's one thing I like to stress with these sort of players. They're not necessarily a massive name in terms of being amazing on FIFA, and otherwise he'd be more than 10k. But going into the overall for him, he is a good player. Like I said, limitations will have it. You'll get people, if we have a look at similar, in fact, we've got like Delaney's quite a nice one. If he gets an inform as a CDM, that's very nice. We have Guardiola, who obviously icon-wise. Tonali was quite a nice CDM as well. But in the Italian league, we also have Sissoko's more of a... Sissoko doesn't look as good this year. Goretzka looks quite nice, but he is more of a CM if anything. Same with De Jong. I'm surprised there's no Conte there, but pretty much if we were to compare him, which we will do, if he was to compare him to someone like Conte, he is kind of like the CDM of the Prem. And you can see really, obviously the defensive stats are there. We've got a bit more physicality on him. Obviously Fred's got a bit more passing. I think if we have a look at... we got the information, there we are. So 4-star always helps right there. Obviously Kante will be better. That's just it's a no-brainer around there. 313k. It's always going to be Conte as the better player, but there's stats that are very similar, and obviously you do whack an anchor on him. It does take him some nice stats there for a starting player. Probably within the next couple of weeks, you probably want to get rid of him, to be honest, but for right now, he is absolutely perfect to slot in. He's got so many good links in him, Brazilian nation, which is always fantastic, and really can put a shift in. In terms of generations, we've had him since FIFA 14 at Shakhtar Donetsk. We had him there for 4 years, or nearly 5 years, and then he made his first appearance at Manchester United, with then him getting a one-to-watch card. I think that's a footies, I want to say, 91, managing to get a storyline last year. Can we see something special from him? Obviously, he's not really one to get major informs during the year, but could we see any sort of special versions? Obviously, the Brazilian kind of specials, I always absolutely love, because they are just next level with the sort of kind of teams that you can build. There's so many leagues, so many good players. Brazilian is a very nice one, and it's kind of alongside France for me, and especially this year, there's a lot of nice players. So for me, Fred is not a bad player. I think, yes, there is certain elements of him in terms of his kind of passing. It's limited. Same with his defending. You can get it up there, but it is still limited, and that's what you kind of just got to stress. These players are very cheap, and honestly, just fun to play with. It's nice to not go straight into the meta. Yes, I've just said that my team's not good enough for FUT Champs, but if you take it away from that and you really just play the matches, you go into friendlies, go into rivals, I'm not really too competitive in them modes, unless obviously I need to do an objective. FUT Champs for me is just... it's a toxic mode, so I'll always want a better team there. But in terms of rivals and trying to just change the team around, obviously doing a lot of reviews, I like to play with a lot of different players, and Fred definitely comes up in quite a few of them. He's good, he's cheap, and he does the job. And that's about it. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you want to subscribe as well, that always means a lot. Apart from that, see you for the next one.